Saludos amigos de tampahoy.com, estamos en vivo esperando el inicio de la conferencia de prensa de la Policía de Tampa, que va a estar discutiendo en la tarde de hoy las diferentes reglas de seguridad acuática durante el evento de Gasparilla este fin de semana, exactamente este próximo sábado 31 de enero, en el que vamos a estar disfrutando de este evento tradicional. Vamos a escuchar qué dice la policía que en esta conferencia de prensa que está iniciando en estos momentos.
Yep, fair enough. Very good. Very good. Good. Chip. Oops, sorry. First name's Christopher, last with a C. Last name is Audet, A-U-D-E-T, Tampa Police Marine Unit, and I'm a Master Patrol Officer.
And I'm Captain Matthew Della Rosa, M-A-T-T-H-E-W, and Della Rosa, D-A-L-L-A-R-O-S-A, and I'm with FWC, Fish and Wildlife.
First question. Suspecting some not so great weather, any cautions or advice to boaters who are going to be out, during this not so great weather?
Yes, absolutely. Obviously, the weather is going to be up this weekend with respect to an inclement system blowing in. The wind is going to be gusting anywhere between 20 to 30 miles an hour. Obviously, at noon, we're looking at sustained winds of 20-something miles an hour. Anchoring over here in the basin is going to be incredibly difficult that day, especially for inexperienced boaters. We encourage inexperienced boaters and or first-time boaters, this is probably not the Gasparilla, to come via water due to the fact that those sort of factors and the amount of vessels that will be in the basin that day is going to be incredibly difficult and will pose a safety risk.
Is there a threshold that has to be met for the police to say, please don't go, or for the flotilla to be canceled?
Yeah, at that point in time, any sort of references like that is going to be forwarded to the Gasparilla event organizers. The actual amount of Marine officers that particular day, I don't know. I can say there's in excess of 50 law enforcement vessels that will be out here.
What are some safety rules that people should make sure that they pay attention to, like if they're going to be out here on the waters? I know kids are required to wear life jackets, right?
Captain?
So children under 6 are always required to wear a life jacket on vessels that are of the smaller size. As always, we ask every vessel operator to ensure their vessel is completely seaworthy for the adventure that they're taking on that day. Understanding the sea state, being aware of any notices to mariners that have been issued by the Coast Guard. You'll see small craft warnings or advisories issued, as well as sometimes gale warnings as well. That's issued to vessels of a certain size to give them a notice that it may be difficult to operate that day. Beyond that, the state law always requires life jackets for everyone on board, a throwable device, a sound-producing device, as well as flares if appropriate, depending on where they're going to be operating at night. And then in any period of low visibility, we always recommend that people ensure their lights are working prior to taking out on their voyage so they have the appropriate lighting.
You mentioned vessels being seaworthy. What does that entail? What should people check off their list in order to make sure that they can set sail with the pirates?
Well, yeah, when you've got a vessel that's going to be coming into this kind of environment, water may come over the side of the vessel, ensuring that if it has a working bilge pump, it's able to actually get that water over the side. If the vessel is made for those conditions, can it tolerate those conditions? And again, that can be part of the small craft advisory. If your vessel is not of an appropriate size, given the sea state that we may see, and especially with winds out of the north-northwest like we might see, the basin here on Saturday may be in pretty good condition, but greater Tampa Bay may be a lot choppier, and that traverse here may be a difficult ride for some vessels.
It's been a few years from now, and obviously there's been an influx of vessels within the area since the COVID days, but it's close to COVID. But it has been a few years, and even then, they encourage boaters not to come out. I can't stress enough that day, with regards to the winds being upwards of 20 miles an hour that day, how difficult it's going to be to boat, especially in these conditions. The basin itself, to include the parade route, is all in idle speed zone. So when you talk about slow speed, with respect to how much your vessel is loaded down, steerage on the boat is going to be very, very difficult with the amount of vessels that are in here.
Are there any parameters for Tampa Police to say, please do not go?
No parameters listed at this time. That's all to be released.
Is the big concern boats crashing into each other or drowning?
Absolutely. So the largest concern would be the collision with regards to the vessels, due to the fact that obviously everybody enjoys the invasion via water, which we totally understand. But the fact that the winds are going to be blowing out of the northwest in excess of 20 miles an hour, collision is going to be imminent, especially if you're an inexperienced boater or a first-time boater.
So we've already been prepared to ensure that we can enforce appropriate alcohol consumption on vessels, and that message has also gone out on land as well. There's zero tolerance for any of that activity, and as always, we recommend designate a sober operator, have a plan in place. In this case, adding to the weather makes that plan even more important. If somebody finds themselves in a difficult circumstance, there'll be plenty of law enforcement officers out and available. Please flag one of us down. Let's find another opportunity for someone to go home, whether that's via commercial salvage or other means, before we end up with an unnecessary tragedy.
On top of that, this is the first Gasparilla since the Voter Freedom Act passed. How does that change your enforcement?
We'll be complying with that and out to enforce boating safety. And again, especially from the FWC standpoint, our goal is to make this a safe event for all mariners. We want this event to go off. It's a great event for Tampa. It's a great event for Florida. It really showcases how Florida is a year-round boating state. We want to make sure that that can be done. We're just going to make sure it can be done safely.
This is one of the most dangerous Gasparillas that could possibly be recorded in the history of Tampa regarding boaters being out. There being high wind speeds, possibility for wind currents.
High wind speed, yes, and obviously, again, as the captain was saying, we're a boating community, we're a boating city, boating state. We love boating, and this is our bread and butter. However, when the winds are that high in this small proximity with regards to the amount of vessels that we meet, again, collision is most likely.
Last question. Is the bay usually a huge concern when you guys have Gasparilla, or is the main focus usually the crowds? Or you guys see them probably balancing out this year?
We always work the larger bay. A lot of people travel here from parts upriver or even across the bay by vessel. Obviously, the infrastructure here can be challenging to launch a boat and get it here. So we're always working on that. We're especially concerned with people having to make that traverse, especially if the weather's really bad. And from the FWC standpoint, we have shifted our plan a little bit to make sure that we can handle any search and rescue efforts that were to arise. It's also we want to ensure the public has a great plan in place so that hopefully we don't have to work as much of that search and rescue operation. Hopefully everyone can have a safe day and enjoy other forms.
Absolutely, and safety is always a priority, especially here in the basin as well, due to the influx of vessels.
All right, go ahead and just close out with general safety.
Yep, either or. All right. What's that? Sounds good.
Go ahead, add yours and I'll do it.
So obviously, if there's an issue for Gasparilla, if you see something, say something. Make sure you call 911. There'll be plenty of law enforcement vessels out here in the water. If for some reason there is an immediate emergency, you can't access a phone, wave your arm, and somebody will definitely come to your attention.
And Gasparilla event officials will make all the final decisions. Refer to them for any information on changes to the event itself. TPD's lead in terms of the public safety, so please reach out to them or follow their instructions with it. And as always, follow the advice of our local meteorologists. We have great people here in Tampa that will always take care of us, including our own Mike Boylan of Mike's Weather Page. They give great information for everybody in the area.
Perfect.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.